My screen is visible. So in physics, we were discussing about circular motion, right? Now we can discuss on projectile motion. Do you know what is projectile motion? Okay, it's 7:40. Should we start? Projectile motion. Could anyone tell me what is projectile motion? Yes, anyone? Projectile motion is a motion which is in 2D. First point, projectile motion will be in 2D. And second point, it is a motion which is neither in horizontal direction nor in vertical direction. So projectile motion is a motion in a plane which is not in x-axis and not in y-axis. In fact, it will be in between both of them, x-axis and y-axis. So Galileo Galilei stated that projectile motion is a combination of two motions, vertical motion and horizontal motion. So if there is an object which has velocity in both the directions, x direction as well as in y direction, then the resultant will be in between x and y directions. That is, the motion of the object will be in xy plane. So if we project an object at an angle of theta such that theta is different angle, theta is an angle and this angle theta will be in between greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. Because if the angle will be 0, this will be motion in a straight line in a x direction, or we can call it as horizontal motion. And if theta will be exactly 90 degree, in that case the motion will be in vertical direction, that is in y direction. So if we project an angle, if we project an object at an angle theta, such that theta is in between 0 and 90 degree, then the motion of the object will be a specific motion in x and y plane, and this motion is known as projectile motion. Another condition for projectile motion is that in ideal case, or in simplest possible case, we consider that there is no air resistance. So there will be no air resistance. There is no air resistance, which means the path of the projectile in this case will be perfectly parabolic. So the object which is projected is known as projectile. Angle theta is angle of projection, and which will be in between 0 to 90 degree. Understood? Any doubt? Yes. No air resistance, which means projectile motion will be perfectly symmetric. Perfectly symmetric means if we have a point here, point P, and on the same level we have another point Q, then height of point P and height of point Q are exactly same. Speed of the particle or projected object at point P will be same as speed of the object at point Q. And if we are talking about the velocity, then magnitude of the velocity at point P and Q will be same, but direction will be flipped by 180 degree, or direction will be changed. But rest of the parameters will be same. Acceleration due to gravity g at point P will be same as acceleration due to gravity at point Q. So if we are having here downward g, in this case it will be g. When point it at another point, and on the same level we have on the right hand side another point, let's say this is point R S and this is point S. In that case also, speed at point R will be same as speed at point S. And in case of velocity, magnitude of the velocity will be same, but direction will be changed, or direction will be flipped. Any doubt in it? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Next point is, if this particular object is projected with a certain speed given by u at an angle of theta, then how will we deal the motion or the projectile motion? So let's take a simple case. Here we have an object. Let me draw it again. Let's say here we have velocity, u velocity at certain angle theta. This is x direction, this is direction. The important point to discuss with or to deal with projectile motion is that you can deal this motion in two different directions. According to Galileo Galilei, any two mutually perpendicular motions are independent of each other, which means if you are calculating the concept or calculating the parameters in x direction, it is independent of y direction, which means you can separately solve x direction as a motion in a straight line, and you can simply solve uh, y direction again as a motion in a straight line. So projectile motion is a superposition of two motion in a straight line. One motion is in x direction and another motion is in y direction. And now we are going to discuss how to deal with these motions in x direction and y direction separately. So let's say there is an object which is projected at an angle of theta with velocity u, that is initial velocity u, and if you will component it in x direction, you will have u cos theta, and in y direction you will have u sin theta. So here we have x axis and here we have y axis. First point in x axis is that initial speed or velocity is u cos theta. In projectile motion, you could understand there is no air resistance, which means external forces in the system is zero, and there is only one type of force present in the system, that is gravity. Acceleration g due to gravity is present, otherwise all other accelerations are zero. And if you look at the direction of acceleration due to gravity small g, it will always be downward. At every point of the motion, the acceleration due to gravity will be in downward direction, which implies that if you take any horizontal component, acceleration due to gravity will make 90-degree with this horizontal component of the velocity. Let me call it as ux. And if acceleration due to gravity is working at 90-degree, there will be no change in the speed in horizontal direction. Why I am saying that? Because you know that work done W is equals to Fs cos theta, force times displacement times cos theta. Theta is the angle between force factor and displacement factor. So in this case, if g is downward, gravitational pull will be downward, and if velocity is in x direction, displacement will also be in x direction, and the angle between them is 90-degree, which means in this case work done will be zero, and work done is equivalent to kinetic energy change. Work energy theorem, this is known as a work energy theorem. So since change in kinetic energy is zero, because of work done zero, we can clearly state that there will be no change in horizontal component of the velocity in this case. So if initial velocity is u cos theta, final velocity will still be again u cos theta. And why we are saying that? We are saying it because acceleration in x direction is zero, due to which final velocity will be same as initial velocity, that is u cos theta. Now I want to know how much time it will take to move from this point to this point, from point of projection to point of striking. So in that case, let's say this particular distance is r unit, which is known as range. And if you know this distance properly, you can find out the time of journey. We can also find out the time of journey in y-axis, and that will be same for x-axis. So another point in this motion is that when the object will be at its peak point, then it will have only horizontal component of the velocity. There will be no component in vertical direction. And apart from this highest peak point, on left hand side as well as on both hand side, both type of component will be represent x component as well as y component. Understood? So remember, at peak point, vertical velocity is 0 and we have only horizontal velocity. Understood? Any doubt? Yes. Another interesting point in it is the time taken by the projectile to move from point A to point B and point B to point C will be same. So time taken to go from point A to point B will be same as time taken to go from point B to point C. And this is happening because of symmetry in the motion. I already told you that projectile motion is symmetric. So total time period or total time of flight, this is known as time of flight, will be TAB plus TBC. If I am calling it as small t, then this will be 2t. So capital TF, time of flight, will be twice into small t. Now how will we find small t? That is a derivation from where we get the value of small t, and it happens in y-axis. So let's look in y-axis. What's happening in y-axis? In y-axis, initial velocity is u sine theta, and there is acceleration in y direction which is in downward direction, that is minus g. So final velocity in this case will not be same as initial velocity. So final velocity will be changed, and to know the final velocity we can apply the equation of motion in a straight line, which is v equals to u plus at. So v is equals to u is u sine theta minus a is g and time is t. Understood? If we know the time, we can find out the velocity at that instant for which we are talking about. Let's say from here to here we are given with time 5 seconds. So if I will put 5 seconds in this equation, I will get the speed at particular point p, whatever be the name of this particular point. Understood? Are you getting it? Now we have formula for small t. It is u sine theta by g. And if you will find out time of flight, that will be 2 into t. So this will be 2u sine theta divided by g. Yes, any doubt? Next is, if you are looking for maximum height, H max, maximum possible height attained by the projectile H max, this will be u square sine square theta by 2g, which can also be given as u in y direction to the whole square divided by 2g. If you are looking for range r, this particular distance is range r. This is known as range r. This can be calculated by using speed into time. So r will be distance, distance will be speed into time. Speed is u cos theta and time is t. So if you will take the value of time t, that is u sine theta divided by g, in that case answer will be uh, I'm sorry, in case of range r, we have to take complete time period. I have put there time period from point A to point B, but I have to take from point A to point C. So this will be capital T, that is time of flight T, which will be 2u sine theta into u cos theta by g. So if you will arrange it, it will be u square sine 2 theta divided by g, or formula for the r factor can also be given as ux into uy divided by g times 2, which means double of speed of the projectile in x direction and speed of projectile in y direction divided by g. Understood or any doubt in it? Yes, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Next point we can discuss is some special cases in projectile motion. And in that special case, the first point is equation of a projectile motion. This is given as y or h is equals to u sin theta into u sin theta by g, that is u square sin square theta by g minus g by 2 u square sin square theta by g square. One factor will cancel out. So y will be equals to u square sin square theta by g minus u square sin square theta by 2g. This equation will not be very good in use. Let me write it in different form. In terms of x and y, equation of a projectile motion or equation of path of a projectile motion. To find out the path, we have to find out equation in terms of x and y. So this goes like this: y is equals to tan theta times x minus g upon 2 u square cos square theta times x square. If you will compare it with y is equals to ax plus bx square, or let me write it in a more familiar way, y is equals to bx plus ax square, where b is tan theta and a is g by 2 u square cos square theta. In this case, theta is the angle of projection. So what is this equation? What represents this equation? Yes, this equation represents which curve? Could anyone tell me? Anyone? Yes, anyone? This particular equation is the equation of parabola. So the path of a projectile is parabolic. In case of absence of air resistance, it will be perfectly parabolic. And if there are certain or there are some air resistance, it will not be perfectly parabolic in that case. Are you getting it or any doubt in it? Yes, any doubt? Okay. Let's solve a question. Question is, find first time of flight, second maximum height attained by the object, third range for the following case. कैंपर कह रहे थे रखने को जी। इधर क्या? हाँ। बाहर होंगे। नहीं, कोई छुट्टी नहीं, सैटरडे संडे। हाँ, किस टाइम तक देना आपको? सुबह ही 7 बजे, 7:30 बजे चलेगा। 7:30। चलो 7:30 तक दे देगा आपको, चलेगा। ठीक है। For the following case, and condition is an object is projected at an angle of 30 degree with a speed let's say 5 meter per second. You have to find out all the parameters of a projectile motion: time of flight, h max, and range. So what is the formula for time of flight? Yes, time of flight t is 2u sine theta divided by g. And if you will apply the formula, this will be 2 into u is 5 into sine 30 divided by g. G, let me have it as 10. So this will be 2 into 5 times sine 30 is what? 1 by 2 divided by 10. 2 factor will cancel out. So time of flight will be 0.5 seconds because everything is in SI system. So time period T will be in seconds. Next point we have H max. So what is the formula for H max? Yes, formula for H max is u square sine square theta by 2g. Yes, u square sine square theta by 2g. So this will be 5 into 5 into u square is sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 by 2. So this will be 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 divided by 2 into g. G is 10. So this factor will cancel out and we will have 5 divided by 2 into 2 into 2, 8. Again, we are dealing it in SI system. So this will be in meters. Third is range. So range R can be given as u square sine 2 theta divided by g. What is the value of u? 5 into 5 into sine 2 theta. Theta is 30. So sine 2 theta will be sine 60, which is root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2 into g. So this will be twice. And finally answer will be 5 root 3 divided by 4. Understood or any doubt? Okay. Let us say we have one more question from the same topic. This is a building of certain height h. Let's say this is 100 meter and an object is thrown in this direction with 20 meter per second in horizontal direction, and the ball or the object goes like this. And the question is, how much time does it take to reach at the ground, and how far from the building it will hit the ground? So if you will look in this question, there are again two direction, x direction and y direction, and velocity is given only in x direction, 20 meter per second, and there is no velocity in y direction. So in y direction downward, we have zero velocity. And the time taken to reach the ground by the object will be same as time taken to cover this 100-meter distance. So if you want to find out at what time or in how much time the object will strike the ground, we will find out what? We will find out the time taken by the object to travel this 100-meter height. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay, so let's discuss in what's happening in y direction. So in y direction, we have initial velocity 0. In y direction, we have acceleration g. And the important point is that the ball or the object is going downward and g is also working downward. So what do you think? What would be the sign convention? Will it be positive or negative? What should be the sign of g? Positive or negative in this case? Yes, anyone? No one. Okay, the sign convention is if object is moving in the same direction as we have the direction of acceleration, it will be positive. And if the direction of motion of the object, that is velocity of the object and acceleration are working in opposite direction, then we will take minus sign. So what do you think? What should be the sign of G here? Plus or minus? Ball is coming downward and acceleration G is also working downward. So what should be the sign? Positive or negative? It will be positive. Now we have to find out how much time it will take to reach the bottom point or the feet of the building. So which equation we could use? I think we can use h equals to ut plus half at square. H is 100, u is 0, 1 by 2, a is g, that is 10 into t square. So if you will solve it for t square, this will be 2 into 100 divided by 10. One of the 0 will cancel out. So t square will be 20 and t will be square root 20 seconds. Now I am interested in this distance. How much distance will be this? Or we can again call it as range. So if you are going to take range, then it is clear that it's happening in x direction. So we need to take the parameters of x direction. What is the velocity of object in x direction? It is 20 meter per second. What is the acceleration in x direction? Yes, anyone? Tell me what is the acceleration in x direction? This is an important question. It will
Negative
be
G.
negative g. It will be like this. If we project any object, then what will be the acceleration in x direction? And what will be the acceleration in y direction? I started the lecture from this point, that to deal with projectile motion, we will break it into two different directions, x-axis and y-axis. And I clearly mentioned that in x-axis there is no acceleration, but in y-axis there will be acceleration due to gravity. So in this case, if I ask you the question, what is the acceleration in x direction? So there is no acceleration in x direction because g is working downward, that is in y direction. So g is not working in x direction. So we will write acceleration in x direction is 0, and we are interested in distance. Because there is no acceleration, you can simply find out distance by the simple formula. Distance is given by speed into time. If you have no acceleration, you can apply the simple formula. Distance is equals to speed into time. And in this case, distance is known as range. Speed is 20 and time we have calculated is root 20 seconds. So range R will be 20 root 20 meters. Understood or any doubt? Yes, any doubt in it?
Hello.
Okay. Now, last point, and this chapter will be completed. We are discussing motion in a plane. Let's say I have a plane, obviously XY plane, x-axis, y-axis, and there is an object which is moving on a particular path. This path may be like anything. In the above two cases, we have studied or discussed about some special cases of motion in a plane. Motion in a plane may be in circular type or it may be in projectile. But now in this case, we are taking more general sense of motion in a plane. So when there is an object which is moving in a plane, it may have any path. It is not necessary that it will always be on a circular path or a projectile. So it may be at any path. Let's say this is the path of the object, and this is the initial position of the object, and this is the final position of the object. If you will join this point at this point, this will be the initial position vector of point P. Let me write it as vector R1. And when you will join this point, this will be the final position vector of point Q, which is now of point P, which is now point Q. And let's say point Q has position vector R2. So in this case, position vector R1 is x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap, and R2 is x2 I cap plus y2 j cap plus Z to K cap. Now what will be delta R? Delta R here is displacement. So displacement of any object is given by final point minus initial point, or distance between final point and initial point. But in case of motion in a plane, we write it as final position vector minus initial position vector. So final position vector minus initial position vector will be R2 vector minus R1 vector. Delta R will be something like this: x2 minus x1 I cap plus y2 minus y1 j cap plus z2 minus z1 k cap. This is displacement vector of a point which is moving in a plane. Now we are interested in average velocity. So average velocity, or you can write it as v bar, will be delta r by time taken to reach from point P to point Q. And if you are looking for instantaneous speed v, then this can be written as dr by dt in vector form. Similarly, if you are looking for acceleration a average, which is same as a bar, a average a bar, this will be delta v bar by delta t, or instantaneous acceleration will be dv by dt. Understood or any doubt? Yes, understood or any doubt? Okay. Okay. What was the last topic in chemistry?
हेलो
Yes, last topic in chemistry.
सर एक बार स्क्रीन स्क्रॉल डाउन करो ना स्क्रीनशॉट लेना है
बस क्या?
नहीं सर पिछला वाला क्वेश्चन हो
ये
हाँ
क्या?
हाँ हाँ ये
पीडीएफ मिले आप लोगों को कि नहीं मिले? यस एनीवन प्लीज आंसर। भाई आप लोग अगर बोलेंगे नहीं तो मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा?
और एक बार करो सर
बस?
थोड़ा ऊपर सर थोड़ा ऊपर
और ऊपर क्या?
नहीं नहीं नीचे सर थोड़ा ओके सर
Okay, what was the topic in chemistry? Yes, last topic in chemistry, please anyone.
Root mean square velocity, rate of the velocities of gas molecule.
Velocities of gaseous molecule means states of matter. Yes, chapter was states of matter.
Yes, sir.
We have completed in that chapter gaseous laws like Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law, and Avogadro's law, right? Have we done some numericals on these laws?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's start chemistry. First question is, select the correct graph for Bayes' law. A part is this one. B is this one. C graph is this one. And finally, D graph is this one. So what do you think? What will be the correct graph for Bayes' law? Yes. PV is equals to NRT. And in case of Bayes' law, temperature is constant. So N is constant, R is constant, T is constant. So we will have PV is equals to constant, which means this graph will look like XY is equals to constant. This is known as rectangular hyperbola. And if you are going to plot the graph of rectangular hyperbola, one parameter will be on y-axis, one will be on x-axis, and the graph will go something like this. So which graph will be according to Bayes' law in the above question? Yes, in ABCD, which is the correct? Yes, anyone? Here we have P, here we have V, P, V, P, V, P and V.
And B.
D option will be correct because D is the rectangular hyperbola. So there will be some questions on graphical representation. Do you know what will be the graph if we have y directly proportional x? Yes, y directly proportional x, one parameter is on y-axis and another one is on x-axis. How do you plot y is directly proportional to x? This can also be given as y equals to mx. So the graph will go from 0, 0, straight line. So another question is, which is correct graphical representation for Charles law? Option A is option B is option C is option D is here we have volume, temperature, volume, temperature, volume, temperature, volume, temperature. And temperature is in kelvins. So what do you think? Which graph will be correct for Charles law? Charles law. PV is equal to NRT. In case of Charles law, pressure is kept constant N is constant, R is constant. So we have V directly proportional T in kelvins. And if V is directly proportional T, which graph will be most appropriate? Yes. What will be the answer?
D.
C option will be the correct. Next question is, a balloon is filled with hydrogen at room temperature. It will burst it will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. If at 1 bar the gas occupies 2.27 liter. Up to what volume can the balloon be expanded? Up to what volume balloon can be expanded? Yes. Balloon is filled at room temperature, which means temperature is constant. This is happening at room temperature, which implies that T is constant. Now from PV equals to NRT, if T is constant, we are left with PV equals to constant, which is known as Bayes' law. So this will be P1 V1 is equals to P2 V2. The value of P1 is 1 bar and V1 is 2.27. P2 is 0.2 bar and we have to find out V2. V2 will be the volume which can be at which balloon can be expanded, to which balloon can be expanded. So from here we will get V2, which is 2.27 divided by 0.2. If you will arrange it, volume V2 will be 11.35 liters. Understood or any doubt? Yes, any doubt?
No, sir.
Next question is, on a ship sailing in Pacific Ocean, where temperature is 23.4 degrees Celsius. A balloon is filled with 2 liter air. What will be the volume of the balloon when the ship reaches Indian Ocean? Where temperature is 26.1 degrees Celsius. Try to solve it. Yes, try to solve it. In this case, we want to know volume of the air which can be filled in a balloon. And in this case, pressure will be normal, atmospheric pressure at sea level. So P is constant in this case. P is constant. So if you are using PV equals to nRT and P is constant, you will have V directly proportional T. That is Charles law, which is V1 by T1 is equals to V2 by T2. But remember that if you are using this concept, Charles law or Gay-Lussac's law, you have to take temperature T in Kelvins. So this is Charles law. We have to convert temperature in Kelvin. So temperature T1 is 23.4 degrees Celsius. Add 273. Yes, how much will be it? 23.4 plus 273. This will be 299.1 Kelvin. Yes or no? Yes, check it. T2 is 26.1 plus 273. This will be how much?
Sir, T1 will be 296.4.
Yes, yes. T1 will be 296.4 and T2 will be 299.1. Now we can apply. V1 by T1 is equals to V2 by T2. So V1 is 2 liter divided by T1, 296.4 is equals to V2. You have to find out T2 is 299.1. On cross multiply, we will have V2 is equals to 2 into 299.1 divided by 299.1 divided by 296.4. Yes. What will be the answer?
2.02.
2.02 approximate. This much liter will be the volume of the air in the balloon in Indian Ocean. Yes. Any doubt?
No, sir, no, sir.
Have we done another part of this chapter like RMS speed, average speed? Yes or no? Did I give you the formula for that? Okay. Next chapter in chemistry we can start is equilibrium. Yes. What is chemical equilibrium? Equilibrium means it is a state in which there is no change with respect to time. This definition is according to physics. If there is a system and in that system there is no change with respect to time, then the system is said to be in equilibrium. But in case of chemical equilibrium, we have two different cases. One is known as equilibrium in physical process. Equilibrium in physical process. Second is equilibrium in chemical process. Equilibrium in chemical process. In physical process, we have some simple cases like solid to liquid and liquid to solid. Liquid to vapor, vapor to liquid. solid to gas and gas to solid. Yes. Could someone tell me what is the name of the process in which a solid gets converted into liquid? Anyone? Solid is converting into liquid. What will you name it? What is the name of the process? Okay. The conversion of solid to liquid is known as melting. Liquid to solid, freezing. Liquid to vapor, liquid to vapor is vaporization,
Vaporization.
and vapor to liquid is condensation. Solid to gas, yes,
Sublimation.
sublimation. Gas to solid,
Deposition.
deposition or desublimation. Understood? These are the equilibrium in physical process. Similarly, we have equilibrium in chemical process. First of all, let's understand what do we mean by equilibrium in chemistry. So if there is equilibrium in chemistry, we state it as there are two processes which are continuously taking place at the same instant. But these processes are happening in such a way that the concentration of the reactant and the product remains constant, which means on looking at the experiment, you cannot simply tell whether the reaction is going in forward direction or the backward direction. It seems like the reaction has been completed and the process are now stopped. But in reality, this is not the case. The reality is both the process will be continuously going on, and they will be happening in such a way that the concentration of one material will be same as the concentration of another material. For example, in case of solid to liquid or liquid to vapor, I think will be better example for you to understand. If we are taking the example of liquid to vapor, in that case, initially when liquid will be converted into vapor, that process is known as vaporization, and initially the level of the liquid will be decreasing. But then at some instant there will be a lots of concentration of the vapor, due to which these vapor molecules will condense together or will stick together to form a bigger drop, and then due to the gravity action they will fall into the liquid bag. That process is condensation. So when vaporization is happening, the level of the liquid will decrease, and if condensation is happening, level of the liquid will increase. But if both of them are taking place simultaneously at the same instant, in that case, some of the water or some of the liquid will be converted into vapor, and some of the vapor will be converted into liquid. And if it is happening uh, simultaneously, then there will be a situation in which level of the liquid or water in the container will be same. So you cannot tell by looking whether the level of water or liquid is increasing or decreasing. So it may come into the mind that the process has been stopped, but it is not the case. These processes are continuously going on. Are you getting it, or any doubt? Yes, any doubt? Okay. Now let's take an example of chemical equilibrium, in which we have a general chemical reaction. A general chemical equation in which a reaction is happening in both the direction, forward as well as backward. So let's say I have A times A plus B times B, which gives because it is a chemical reaction which is happening in both the direction. So we have to give this arrow. C times C plus D times D. This is a general chemical equation which is happening in forward direction and backward direction. What is forward reaction first of all? In this concept, what is forward reaction? Forward reaction is a chemical reaction in which reactants gets converted into products. And backward reaction will be which one? Backward reaction is a reaction in which product gets converted into reactant. So if you are looking for what is the speed of forward reaction and what will be the speed of backward reaction and when there will be an equilibrium. So let's say to understand the speed of forward reaction or the rate of forward reaction, we first of all take a concept which is known as law of mass action. Law of mass action. It states that rate of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to the active mass of the reactant or the product if it is backward reaction. So rate of a reaction R is directly proportional to active mass, and in some special cases this active mass is taken as concentration of the reactant or concentration of the product, which implies that greater will be the concentration, greater will be the rate of the reaction. So in the above equation, we have A times A plus B times B, which gives C times C plus D times D. So if I want to write rate of forward reaction RF, this will be RF will be directly proportional to the concentration of A raised to power small a. Stoichiometric coefficient will come into the power, and these are known as stoichiometric coefficients. I hope you understand it. Rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of A raised to power A and concentration of B raised to power B. If you will remove the sign of proportionality, you will have a constant which is given as Kf, concentration of A raised to power A, concentration of B raised to power B. Here Kf is proportionality constant, and you can call it rate constant for forward reaction. Yes, proportionality constant, and it is named as rate constant for forward reaction. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we have rate of backward reaction that will be directly proportional to the concentration of product C raised to power C and product D raised to power D. Again, we will remove the proportionality sign and we will have again a constant which will be given by Kb with C concentration C and D concentration D. Understood or any doubt? So this is the way how to find out rate of a forward reaction and rate of a backward reaction. Are you getting it or any doubt? Yes, any doubt in it?
No, sir.
Yes. बोलो.
No, sir. No, sir, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So now I want to have the concept for equilibrium. These two expressions are for individual reactions, whether the reaction is going in forward direction or it is going in backward direction. Now I am interested in a special case. What will happen? What will happen in the case of equilibrium, or when should we call a chemical reaction to be in equilibrium? So what do you think? When it will be in equilibrium? Yes, anyone? What do you think? No one? Okay.
When concentration of products will be equal to concentration of reactants.
Is it necessary that the concentration of reactants will be equal to the concentration of product?
Yes.
No. It is not the case and it is not necessary. The condition is the concentration of reactant will be constant, but it will be equal to product. It is not necessary. Right, it's like I have, let's say, 10 unit reactant, and out of that 10 unit, 2 unit is converted into product, and now the situation is such that the remaining 8 unit of reactant will always be at 8 unit. It is neither going to increase and neither going to decrease. Similarly, on product side, I have 2 unit of the product, and this 2 unit is not going to change, but it does not imply the reaction is completed or the reaction is stopped. The case is that if out of that 8 unit reactant, 1 unit reactant is converted into product at some instant of time during the reaction, exactly at that instant 1 unit of the product will be converted back into the reactant, which means reactant will always be at 8 unit and product will always be at 2 unit. So this is the case. Main point is, in chemical equilibrium, the concentration of reactants and products gets constant. They may or may not be equal to each other, but it is guaranteed they will not change further with time. Are you getting it, or any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in it?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now, if I take rate of forward reaction is equals to rate of backward reaction. So what will be the condition? Rate of forward reaction will be Kf. Rate of forward reaction will be Kf, concentration of A raised to power A and concentration of B raised to power B will be equals to Kb, concentration of C raised to power C and concentration of D raised to power D. If you will rearrange it, you will get Kf divided by Kb, which will be equals to concentration of C raised to power C and concentration of D raised to power D divided by concentration of A raised to power A and concentration of B raised to power B. This is an interesting point here, that Kf is a constant value, Kb is also a constant value, and these two constants are divided. So if you are dividing two constants, you are again will get another constant, and this particular constant is given as Kc. So we write here Kc is equals to Kf divided by Kb, which is same as concentration of C raised to power C, concentration of D raised to power D divided by concentration of A raised to power A and concentration of B raised to power B. This particular constant Kc is known as, could anyone tell me the name of Kc? What is Kc in this particular topic?
Equilibrium constant.
Yes, Kc is known as equilibrium constant. Basically, Kc is proportionality constant, but now we are naming it as equilibrium constant. So the question will be, what is equilibrium constant? How will you define it? So you have two definitions in front of you. One is Kf by Kb and another one is in terms of concentration. So let's define equilibrium constant in terms of Kf and Kb. I already told you what is Kf and Kb. Yes, could anyone tell me what is Kf? Yes,
Constant
what?
forward reaction.
Rate constant of
Yes, rate
forward
constant
reaction
for forward reaction and Kb is rate constant for backward
or
reaction.
backward reaction.
Yes, so to define equilibrium constant, we can simply say that equilibrium constant is the ratio of rate constants of forward reaction to the backward reaction. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you are not okay with this, you can also define Kc in terms of concentration, but that will be little bit difficult definition. In that case, we define it as equilibrium constant Kc is the ratio of concentration of the products raised to power their stoichiometric constants to the concentration of the reactants raised to power their stoichiometric coefficients. This will be the definition in case of concentration. Understood? So I am not writing the definition. I'm just telling you how to define it. Could we move forward? Any doubt in it?
Sir, what is the
Okay.
No,
So
sir.
remember, I am again stating it. Remember, in case of chemical equilibrium, it is not the case that concentration of the reactant will be same as the concentration of product. Concentration of reactant may be different than the concentration of products, but the important point is that if the reaction is at chemical equilibrium, in that case, concentration of reactant will be constant and it will not change further with time, and same will be the case with product. Is it always the case, sir, that concentration are never going to be equal? No, it is not the case. In some special reactions, in some special cases or examples, it may also be possible that the concentration of reactant will be exactly same as concentration of the product in chemical equilibrium. But along with that, you have to remember, it is not the case. In general, in most of the cases, concentration of reactant will be different than the concentration of product, but these concentrations of reactant and product will be constant and they will not change further with time. Understood or any doubt? Okay, regarding Kc, we have some simple concepts which will be used in questions. Let me write it as example. The question is, if we have a reaction H2 plus I2 which gives 2HI, what do you write for its Kc? Yes, its Kc will be what? Its Kc will be concentration of Hi with raised to power 2 divided by concentration of H2 and concentration of I2. Yes, and if you flip the reaction, let's say reaction goes like this, 2Hi gives H2 plus I2. In that case, what will you write? So if you are reversing the direction of the reaction or you are flipping it, then the Kc for the new reaction will be reciprocal of the Kc for original reaction. So let me write it as Kc for original reaction, and now I am looking Kc for new reaction. So Kc for new reaction will be reciprocal of Kc for old reaction. And it is obvious because in this case, reactants will be 2Hi and product will be H2 and I2. So if you will write Kc properly using the concept, it will be opposite of the or reciprocal of the Kc in original reaction. Understood or any doubt? Yes, understood or any doubt? Okay, no doubt.
Yes, sir. No doubt, sir.
Okay. Now the question is, if you have, let's say, if you have a general reaction A times A plus B times B, which gives C times C plus D times D, and for this Kc is what? C raised to power C, D raised to power D divided by A raised to power A and B raised to power B. But now I want to multiply this reaction with a constant value. So A times A plus B times B, which gives C times C plus D times D. And I have multiplied this reaction with some number n or alpha. Now I want to know what will be the effect of this number on Kc. So what do you think? What will happen if you will multiply?
N times.
Yes, it will be n times of Kc or something different. Are you saying like Kc new will be n times Kc old? Is it correct? Or I have to change it? Yes? Anyone? No one? Okay. So if you are multiplying a chemical reaction which is in equilibrium by some factor alpha n or whatever it is, in that case, Kc new will be Kc old raised to power n. So the multiplying factor will come into the power. Understood? Yes, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
remaining part we will do in next session. What was the last topic in maths? Yes, last topic in mathematics.
Cube root of unity.
Cube root of unity, which means complex number is
Complex
almost.
number.
Is complex number completed? Euler form, polar form.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Questions on Euler form and polar form?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We have done.
Okay. And questions on cube root of unity?
Yes, sir. One or two questions, sir.
Okay. And properties of cube roots of unity, like if you will plot cube roots of unity on a number line, you will get a triangle. Which type of triangle is it? Yes, properties किए कि नहीं किए?
No, sir.
Okay. So I am writing here a cube root of unity will give us three roots, 1, omega and omega square. First and foremost point is that omega cube is 1. And if you will convert it into omega square into omega, this is 1, which implies that omega square is 1 by omega and omega is 1 by omega square. So omega and omega square are reciprocal of each other. Second important property is omega square conjugate is omega and omega conjugate is omega square. Third important property is if you will add 1 plus omega square, it will be 0. Understood? Next important property is if you will plot these roots 1 and omega square, you will get something like this. This is imaginary, sorry, this is real axis and this is imaginary axis. And here we have a circle of radius 1 unit. We have a circle of radius 1 unit. So this particular point is 1. Here we have omega and here we have just vertically opposite to it. Here we have omega square. If you will join these 3 points, 1 omega and omega square, you will get a triangle. This triangle is equilateral triangle. This triangle is equilateral triangle. Are you getting it? Yes or no? This will
Yes,
be
please.
this will be a equilateral triangle, which implies that if you are taking the difference of 1 minus omega or omega minus 1 or omega square minus omega or omega minus omega square, all these lengths will be same, and this length will be the length of side of the equilateral triangle. Now I would try to find out what should be the length of this triangle, and then we will find out its perimeter and area, and then the topic will be completed. So could anyone tell me what is the value of omega? Anyone? What is the value of omega?
-1 plus 3 I/2.
-1 plus root 3 iota by 2. And we will write it in this way because it will be far more easier to solve. And then we have omega square. I already told you it is conjugate. So sign of iota will be changed and we will get the value of omega square. Now I want to know what is length. So I can write it as omega minus omega square. This will be omega is -1 by 2 plus iota root 3 by 2 minus -1 by 2 minus iota root 3 by 2, and this will be what? -1 by 2 plus iota root 3 by 2 minus will be plus iota root 3 by 2. So if you will look at it, -1 by 2 factor will cancel out. You will have what? Iota root 3 by 2. Iota root 3 by 2 means 2 root 3 iota by 2, and 2 factor will again cancel out. So you are left with root 3 iota. So omega minus omega square mode will be root 3. Now if you are looking for area of equilateral triangle, that is given by root 3 by 4 into side square. So in that case, this will be root 3 by 4 into root 3 to the whole square, which will be 3 root 3 by 4 square unit. And if you are interested in perimeter, it is very easy to find out. Perimeter will be 3 times side of the triangle. Equilateral triangle have all the sides equal, so this will be 3 times side, and this will be 3 root 3 unit. Any doubt? Yes, anyone, any doubt? Okay. For higher power of omega, if we have higher power of omega, like you have omega raised to power something, and this something is definitely greater than 3. This is complete number but greater than 3, and I want to deal with it. So remember, as we have magic power of iota 4, similarly we have a magic power for omega, and it will be 3 in this case because omega cube is 1. So what we do is that we will divide this something, or we will divide this power by 3. And if you will divide it by 3, you will get something like 3 lambda plus some power remaining and remainder. It is same as dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. And if you will rearrange it, it will be omega cube raised to power lambda into omega raised to power n. So it doesn't matter what is the value of lambda, omega cube is 1, and 1 raised to power something or anything will be 1. So we are left with only 1, that is omega raised to power n. And in this case, omega raised to power n, there will be only 3 different cases. Either n will be 0, either it will be 1, or it will be 2. It will not be 3 because if it is 3, it will be divided completely. Yes. And if it is greater than 3, then we have already converted it into 3 lambda plus n form. So n has to be between 0, 1 and 2. And if it is 0, we will have omega raised to power 0, which is 1. We will have omega raised to power 1, which is omega. And we will have omega raised to power 2, which is omega square, that is conjugate of omega. So same as to deal with power of iota, you have to do same in power of omega. If you are having higher power of omega, just divide this power or this power with n and look for the remainder. We need not to concentrate on what is the quotient or what is the answer, right? In division process, we are interested only in remainder. Understood? So if I have omega raised to power 2025, what will you write? What will you write? Omega raised to power 2025 divided by 2. Sorry, divide it by 3. So this will be how much? This will be 3 6 ja 18. 2 remainder, then we will have 2. 3 7 ja 21. 1, then we will have 5. That means it will be 15. And 3 4
675.
ja 12. 3 4 ja 12. And 3 5 ja 15, right? Yes or no? So it will be completely divisible, means answer will be 1. We could also state it as by the divisibility test. If you will add these digits, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, it will be 9. 9 is a multiple of 3, which means this number will be completely divisible by 3 and answer will be 1. But in place of 2025, let's say I have omega 2024. What will be the answer in this case? I think again this will be divisible by 3. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 8. Sorry. This time it is not completely divisible by 3. So we will divide. We will get how much we will get? 3 6 ja 18, 3 7 ja 21. So 14, 3 4 ja 12. We will have omega square. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Do you think that something is left in this chapter? De Moivre's theorem is done, right? Yes or no? De Moivre's theorem, in which power of a complex number will come in the argument in polar form. Have you done that? Yes or no? Okay, so now solve this question. Write the following in standard form, comma Cartesian form, comma polar form, and Euler form. We have complex number z 1 minus iota. So first of all, what will be its standard form? Standard form is given by x plus iota y. So this complex number z can be written as 1 plus minus 1 times iota, such that x will be 1 and y will be minus 1. Then we have Cartesian form. In Cartesian form, we can write it as x comma y, which will be 1 comma minus 1. Then we have polar form. For polar form, first of all, we will find out argument. And for that, we need to find out alpha. Alpha is given by tan inverse mod imaginary part of complex number by real part of complex number. So this will be tan inverse. What is imaginary part in this question? Yes, imaginary part is -1.
-1.
Real part is 1. So alpha will be tan inverse 1, which is pi by 4. Now we will look in which quadrant this complex number lie. X-axis and y-axis. If complex number is in first quadrant, in that case argument z will be same as alpha. Theta is argument z. If it is in second quadrant, theta, that is argument z, will be pi minus alpha. And remaining two cases will give argument z or theta as negative of alpha, and in this case argument z, that is theta, is negative of pi minus alpha, which means we have to remember only one concept in this particular point, that is argument in second quadrant is pi minus alpha, and in first quadrant it is alpha, so fourth it will be minus alpha, and second is pi minus alpha, then in third it will be minus of pi minus alpha, that is alpha minus pi. So in this case we have alpha is pi by 4 and the complex number has coordinates 1 comma minus 1. So 1 comma minus 1 will be in which quadrant? 1 comma minus 1 will be in fourth quadrant. So we can write it as complex number z lie in fourth quadrant. And if it is lying in fourth quadrant, in that case argument of z, that is theta, will be minus of alpha. So theta will be minus pi by 4. So if you want to write polar form, you will need mod of z, that will be root of real part square plus imaginary part square will be root 2. So complex number z will be mod z into cos theta plus iota sin theta. This is the polar form of a complex number. This is the polar form of a complex number. To write polar form of any complex number, you need two information. One is magnitude of the complex number, mod, and second is position of the complex number, that is in which quadrant it will lie. Accordingly, we will have argument. So complex number z will be in polar form root 2 times cos theta, that is minus pi by 4, plus iota sin theta, that is minus pi by 4. If you will rearrange it, complex number z will be root 2 times cos pi by 4, because cos can absorb its minus, but sin cannot. So it will be minus sin pi by 4. I hope you got it. Any doubt in it? Yes, any doubt in it?
No, sir.
No,
Then we
sir.
have Euler form. Euler form is far more easier. In Euler form, we have e raised to power iota theta, which is cos theta plus iota sin theta. So we have any complex number z as mod z in bracket cos theta plus iota sin theta. In place of this bracket, we can have mod z times e raised to power iota theta. E raised to power iota theta is easy to deal, easy to write, and easy to explain, because it is in exponent form or power form, which is easier to solve. You can solve any power if the complex number is it in Euler form. So in this particular case, complex number z will be mod z, that is root 2 e raised to power iota theta, that is minus pi by 4 because argument is minus pi by 4. So this will be minus iota pi by 4. Understood or any doubt? Yes, any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Addition, subtraction, I already told you. Square root of a complex number. Have you done that?
Yes, sir.
Direct
Yes, sir.
formula. Direct formula.
Yes, sir. We have done that.
Okay. So complex number is completed. Let me give you some questions. Screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
These are the questions from complex number. It is x plus iota y raised to power 1 by 3 is equals to a plus iota y, iota b, and we have to select the correct option. So how will you deal it? If you will cube on both sides, x plus iota y 1 by 3 cube is equals to a plus iota b cube. So this will be x plus iota y is equals to a cube minus iota b cube, because iota b to the whole cube will give iota cube b cube. Iota cube is minus iota. So this will be a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3b square a. And if you will do b square, this will be iota square, that will be minus 1. So this will be minus 3b square a. So x plus iota y on rearranging will give us a cube minus 3b square a plus iota, this will be 3a square b minus b cube. Now x will be a cube minus 3b square a and y will be 3a square b minus b cube. So which option do you think will be correct? If we divide it by a and b, because in all the options x is divided by a and y is divided by b. So let's say I divide x by a, this will be x by a, which will be a square minus 3b square. Y divided by b will be 3a square minus b square. And if you will add them, x by a plus y by b will be 4a square minus 4b square. And if you will take 4 outside, this will be a square minus b square. Is there any option like this? No. So I have to subtract it. If I will subtract it, what will I get? This will be x by a minus y by b is equals to, on subtraction, this will be minus, this will be minus, this will be minus. So this will be x by a minus y by b is equals to a square minus 3a square minus 2a square minus 3b square and plus 2b square. So if you will take minus 2 common, it will be a square minus b square.
Your option B.
Option B. This will be actually minus and this will be plus. Yes, right. Option B is the correct option. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next question is, the standard form of this. How will you solve it? Question number 6. Yes, anyone? How will you solve it?
Compare it with x plus iy.
You have to convert it into standard form. Yes, it must be in x plus iota y, but how will you do it? You have to simplify it by rationalization. So first multiply it. If you will multiply it, this will be 33 into 2, 66. 33 plus 3 iota, 99 iota, minus 2 iota into 2, minus 4 iota, minus 2 iota plus 3 iota, minus 6 iota square. Am I going right? 1 into 2, 2, 1
Yes.
into iota minus iota, 2 iota into 2 plus 4 iota, 2 iota into minus iota minus 2 iota square. On rearranging, this will be 66. Iota square is -1. -1 into -6 will be +6. Plus 99 plus 4. How much will be? 99 plus 4 will be 103 iota. Divided by, this again will be plus, so this will be 4 plus 3 iota. And here we have 66 plus 6 means 72.
Sir, it should be 99 minus 4 iota, right?
99 minus 4. Yes, yes, yes. 99 minus 4. And 99 minus 4 means 95 iota.
Yes, sir.
70
Yes, sir.
plus 95 iota divided by 4 plus 3
4
iota.
plus 3.
Now again rationalize it. So if you will rationalize it, this will be 16 plus 9, that is 25. And we have two options with 25. So two options are cancelled out. Now I have to just multiply this on that side. So 72 plus 95 iota multiplied with 4 minus 3 iota will give what? This will be this will be, if you will look at the 1 minute, if you will look in at the options, 573 in both the cases with plus sign, and 154 and 154 in imaginary part with plus and minus sign. So if we are going in right direction, we should check for the imaginary part of the complex number, not for the real part. So what will I do? I will just try to solve it for iota. I will ignore rest other calculations. Like 72 into 4, I'm not interested in that multiplication. 72 into minus 3 iota, that is of my interest. So 72 into minus 3 will be how much? 3 2 just 6. And 3 7 just 21 with minus sign iota. Next will be 95 iota with 4 and 95 iota with minus 3 iota. Again, we are not interested in iota square, but we are interested in 95 into 4. This will be how much? 4 5 ja 20, and 9 for the 36 and 2 38. Obviously 38 is positive, so answer will be C. Again, we need not to just calculate that it is 154 or not. Are you getting what I am doing here? Yes, are you getting it, or I have to solve it completely? No answer. Thank you.
Sir, I think the options are misprint.
Options are wrong.
Yes, sir, because 380 minus 216 gives 164.
How much?
164.
And it is 154, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it may be will be 164. Okay, are you getting the sense how to deal with options? That is the
Yes, sir.
important point. Calculation will be done accordingly, but we just have to look how we can solve according to the question. By looking at option, we can eliminate some option, and then while doing calculation, again you need not to calculate it completely. You just calculate one part or the other part according to the situation. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think complex number is not given in this book. Limit and continuity, differentiation, application of derivative, integration, and of circle, vector, trigonometry, probability. No. Complex number is not there. Okay. Okay, what was the topic in general aptitude? Yes. General aptitude. This is a question, very important question. We have two complex number, 1 plus iota and 1 minus iota. And it is like if z1 by z2 raised to power n is 1, that is 1 plus iota upon 1 minus iota raised to power n is equals to 1. What should be the least possible value of n? So in that case, 1 plus iota upon 1 minus iota can be written in a special form. I have already told you. If you will rationalize it, 1 plus iota and 1 minus iota, then you will multiply with 1 plus iota in numerator and denominator. And on multiplication, 1 plus iota square will give 2 iota upon 1 minus iota into 1 plus iota will give 2. Raised to power n is equals to 1. 2 factor will cancel out. So you are left with iota raised to power n is equals to 1. So what do you think? What will be the least value of n? Least value of n in this case. Yes, anyone?
Four.
Yes, least value of n in this case will be 4. Will be 4. Okay, what was the last topic in general aptitude?
Average.
Average is completed. Okay. Time work, speed, time, distance, percentage, profit and loss, profit, interest. Problem on age. Have you done it? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Problem on age. There is no specific concept for it. It's a chapter from class 6 or 7. And in this chapter, you just have to read out the question carefully. And according to the question, we will just try to eliminate options. Rather than solving it properly, we will just try to eliminate the options until and unless we have to solve it properly. Like the question is the ratio of ages of Kavya and Neha is 4:5. So if the ratio is 4:5, it means we can take their age as 4x and 5x, right? Ratio is not a quantity. Ratio is a relation between quantities. So whenever you are given with the ratio, you have to convert it into a quantity to deal with the question. So 4:5 means if age of the Kavya is 4x years, then age of the Neha will be 5x, right? After 12 years, this ratio will become 5:6. After 12 years, what will be the new age, right? If at present I have 4x and 5x, after 12 years, it will be 4x plus 12 and 5x plus 12. Am I right? Yes, this will be 4x plus 12 and 5x plus 12. And according to the question, the ratio of this age becomes 5:6. So if you will take ratio as 5:6 and you will simplify it 4x, it will be 12. And the question is, what will be the age of Kavya after 2 years? So if x is 12, what is the age of Kavya right now? According to the question, it is 4x. So right now, it will be 12 into 4, 48. And after 2 years, this will be 48 plus 2, that is 50 years. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Next
sir.
question is The age of a father is 4 times the age of his son. If the age of father is X years, find the age of his son after 8 years. So the age of a father is 4 times the son. Which means if son is X years old, the father's age will be 4x. Yes or no? Because father's age is 4 times. So if son is X years old, father will be 4x years old. And next part is if the age of father is X years now, find the age of his son after 8 years. Okay, so if the age of father currently is X years, it means his son's age will be X by 4. And after 8 years, it will be X by 4 plus 8. Yes or no? First question is, a father's age is 4 times that of his son. 8 years before, the father's age was 16 times that of the son. Father's age is. So if son's age is X, what will be father's age according to the condition? 4x. 8 years before, this will be 4x minus 8. And this will be x minus 8. 8 years before, the father's age was 16 times. So this will be 16 times. And if you will solve it, this will give how much? 4x minus 8 equals to 16x minus 16 into 8. Take this on that side and this on that side. So this will be 16 into 8 minus 8 is equals to 16x minus 4x, that is 12x. If you will take 8 outside, it will be 8 into 15 by taking common 12x. So this will be 4 to the 8, 4 3 the 12, 3 5 the 15, 5 into 2, 10. So the value of x will be 10. We are interested in father's age. Father's age is 4x. So this will be 4 into 10, that is 40 years. Are you getting it? Yes. Are you getting it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Could you try to solve second question? Try to solve second question.
Sir, can you show the first question again once?
First question again. Yes. Do you have this PDF? Yes. Do you have this PDF? This is a book for IMU CET.
Yes, sir, we have.
Okay. So how will you solve second question? Second question is, A is older than B by 5 years. 7 years hence, thrice A's age shall be equal to 4 times that of B. The percentage of A is. Okay, so the question is, A is older than B by 5 years, which means if B is X years old, A will be X plus 5. 7 years hence. 7 years hence means what? Yes, anyone? 7 years
After 7
hence,
years.
after 7 years. So we will add 7. And according to question, after 7 years, age of A will be thrice, sorry. thrice of age of A, thrice of age of A will be equal to 4 times age of B. So here we have 3x plus 5 plus 7 means how much? 12? Yes, 12 into 3 will be 36. Then we have 4x plus 28. Take this on that side, this on that side. 4x minus 3x will be x. 36 minus 28 will be how much? 36 minus 28. I think this will be 8. And if x is 8, what will be the age of A? Age of A will be 8 plus 5. That is 13 years. Understood? Yes, have you done? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So do I need to solve all the questions or you will do it by yourself?
We'll do it, sir.
Okay, so we can do one more topic in it, which is small one. Average is done. Problem one is integration and mixture. Clock is done, right?
Yes, sir.
Profit and loss. Profit and loss, HCF, LCM. Okay. Could we do profit and loss? Is there any problem?
No, no, sir. Yes, sir. We can.
Profit and loss, in this concept you all know we will have a object. First we will buy it and then we will sell it. The price at which we buy an object is known as cost price, and the price at which we are selling it is known as selling price. We will be in profit if selling price is greater than cost price. Greater will be the selling price than the cost price, greater will be the profit. We will be on loss side if cost price is greater than selling price, and greater the cost price, lower the selling price, greater will be the loss. If you want to find out profit, it will be selling price minus cost price, and if you want to find loss, it will be cost price minus selling price. If I convert it into a more precise way, it will be like you just have to take difference of selling price and cost price, whether it is profit or loss. Difference will be same between them. right? But for loss, we say that cost price will be less than sell. Sorry, for loss, cost price will be greater than selling price. So we state it as you have to subtract selling price from cost price and vice versa. But now you are in a higher standard, so you need not to worry about these formulas. You can just simply say that the difference between selling price and cost price will be profit or loss accordingly. Yes or no? Yes or no? Next point will be how to find out the loss or profit in percentage. So if you want to find out loss or profit in percentage, gain percent or loss percent, it will be simple. Profit divided by original value of the uh, object or whatever was it, multiply by 100. Are you getting it? If you want to have loss percent, this will be loss divided by cost price multiply 100. If you want to have profit percent, this will be profit divided by cost price into 100. The concept of percentage will be changed. If you want to find out something in percentage, the core concept is that something has to be in numerator, overall quantity will be in denominator, and multiply will be by 100. Are you getting it or any doubt? Yes? Any doubt? Please
No, sir.
respond. Okay. So let's say we have a question. A person buys an article at 3 by 4 of its value and sells it for 20% more than its value. What is his gain percent? So let's say the value of the article is X. The person buys it at 3/4 of its original value, which means I buy it at 3 by 4x and I sell it at 20% more than its value. So this will be x plus 20% of x because I am selling it at 20% more of its value. So selling price will be x plus 20% of x, and if you will simplify it, 20% of x will be 20x by 100. So overall will be 6x by 5. What will be gain? Gain will be difference between them. So 6 by 5x minus 3 by 4x, this will be 9 by 20x. And for percentage, change will be here, overall will be here, multiply 100. So gain is 9 by 20x, original is 3 by 4x into 100. So answer will be 60%. Understood? Next we have Manu buys a radio at 20% discount of its value and sells it for 20% more than its value. What will be his profit? So if its value is x, 20% discount means x minus 20% of x, which means x minus 20x by 100. 20x by 100 will be 1 by 5x. So cost price will be x minus 1 by 5x, which means 4 by 5x. Selling price is 20% more than its value. So it will be x plus 20% of x. That is x plus 1 by 5x. 6 by 5x. So in this case, profit is 6 by 5x minus 4 by 5x. That is 2 by 5x. And profit percent will be profit divided by cost price into 100. So answer will be 50%. Understood? Understood or any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, solve question number 1. solve question number 1. Surabhi sold a washing machine for 9,499 at a gain of 15%. Find the cost price of the washing machine. So how will you solve it? There are two ways to solve it. First is by option. You can try by option. If one of the option is correct, its selling price is how much? 9,499, and gain is 50% on this. What will be the cost price? So I think cost price will be, if you will exclude the 15% out of the equation, you will get the cost price. Am I right? So it means if its cost price is X unit, 9,499 minus X will be the profit, divided by X into 100 will be profit percent, that is 15. If you will simplify it, this will be 9,499 minus X equals to 15X divided by 100 or into 100. Yes. So if you will take it on another side, this will be 9,499 into 100 divided by 15X plus 100X, 115X. You can find out the value of X from here. Are you getting it? What will be the answer? Yes. What will be the answer? It will be 8263.
Option C. Yes.
Option C, yes. Try next question, question number 2. What is question number 2? A fruit seller buys mangoes at the rate of 15 for 12 rupees and sells them at the rate of 15 rupees per dozen. Find his gain percent. Okay. So its cost price is how much? 12 rupees. Because he buys 15 mangoes for 12 rupees and sells them at the rate of 15 rupees per dozen, which means 12 mangoes cost 15 rupees. So one mango will cost 15 by 12 rupees. And if you sell all of them, then out of 1 dozen, you are left with 3 more mangoes. So price of 3 mangoes extra will be 15 by 12 into 3. 3 for the 12. 15 by 4. So cost price is 12. Selling price will be 15 for 1 dozen plus 15 by 4 for remaining 3 mangoes. This will be how much? 60 plus 15, that is 75 by 4. What will be the profit? This will be 75 by 4 minus 12, which will give 75 minus 48 by 4. This will be how much? 75 minus 48. Yes, how much it will be?
Twenty-seven by 4.
How much?
27 by 4.
Shit, man. 27 by 4. And gain percent will be 27 by 4 divided by cost price into 100. So this will be 25. 27 into 25 divided by 12. And this will be 2 point something. So 27 into 2 point something will be how much? I think this will go for 51 point something. Yes or no? Yes or no? Any doubt in it? Try next question.
56.25 our answer.
56.25. Proper calculation?
Yes, sir. Option D.
Okay. Solve question number 3rd. It states that Rajkumar sold 2 calculators for rupees 990 each. So if they are 2 calculators and one cost 990, cost price will be, sorry, selling price will be 2 into 990. This will be 0. This will be 18, 8, 1. This will be 19. On one calculator, he gained rupees 10%. And on another, he lost 10%. Find his gain or loss in the transaction. Okay, so if we have 2 calculators, 99 of each, on one calculator, so we have 2 calculators, 990 of each. On one calculator, he gained 10% loss.
Sir, no loss, no gain. Option A.
And on another, it will be 10% gain, which means how much quantity he will gain from one pen that will be one calculator, sorry, that will be gone into the loss of second. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Option A.
Yes. So answer will be answer will be no less, no loss, no gain. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Next question. How will you solve fourth one? Question is, Mickey sells an article to Mini at a profit of 20% and Mini sells it to Meha at a profit of 25%. If Meha pays 450 for it, the cost price for Mickey is, Meha pays 450. So 450 will be selling price for Mini. $450 for Mini and 25% profit. So let's say its cost price for Mini is X and it is in profit. It means 450 minus X divided by X will be equals to 25% into 100 will be equals to 25%. So this will be how much? This will be 450 into 100 minus 100x is equals to 25x. So this will be 125x is 450 and x will be 450 divided by 125. Am I right?
360.
360. 360 is not in option, but 350 is there. 375 is also there. Twenty-five x is equals to 450 into 100 minus this. And this will be this much. Now, Mickey sells an article to Mini at a profit of 20%. And Mini sells it. So if Mini sells it for 25% profit, then the cost for this price for Mini will be 450 by 125. Now this will be the selling price for Mickey. And we have to find out cost price for Mickey. Let's say cost price for Mickey is X. And Mini buy it at this amount. So this will be 45000 upon 125 minus X divided by X into 100 is equals to 20. And this will be how much? If you will solve it, first of all, simplify this quantity. This is a bigger one. Divide it by 25. Or let me divide it by 5. This will be upon 25. Then again 5. divided by 5, again 5. This will be how much? 15, 360, which means 360 is the selling price for Mini, or Mini buys this article at 360. So for Mickey, let's say he sells it at X and gets a profit of 20%. So this will be X minus 360 divided by 360 into 100 is equals to 20. Am I right? Yes or no? Please answer. Anyone? शायद से मैंने कुछ तो गड़बड़ कर दिया इसमें. ओके, नेक्स्ट सेशन में करके देखते. फिर तुम ट्राई करना, अगर नहीं हुआ तो फिर बताना कहीं कैलकुलेशन में गड़बड़ हुआ. पीडीएफ लगेगा आप लोगों को?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
पीडीएफ के लिए तो बोल जाते हो तुम लोग, वैसे नहीं बोलते हो तुम लोग, मतलब बहुत खतरनाक हो. पीडीएफ ओके, मैं बना के भेजता. हाँ, ड्राइव पे चेक कर लेना, अपलोड करा देता हूँ मैं.
Okay, sir.
ओके, कल सेम टाइम होगा लेक्चर. अब बच्चे इतने कम कैसे हो गए? तुम तो काफी बच्चे थे, 30 तक थे.